Namaste. Welcome to the next video in the series of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. In this video, we will understand the meaning of awareness of the present moment. Our inner nature has spontaneous likes and dislikes, and the support is chosen on the basis of what is naturally drawn to, so that the awareness is completely absorbed by it and thereby drawn to the present moment. This is the very important factor in meditation. Each practitioner has to know that unless he can remain in the present moment, the awareness cannot enter the area of timelessness. In this state, the past, present, and future become one timeless eternity, transcending time, space, and object limitation. The self, which is beyond these three aspects of material existence, is thus experienced. In actual fact, to progress in sadhana, what the sadhak has to realize is that the divisions of time which we have created are not real. Time is absolute, but it exists only in the present. As far as the dimension of time is concerned, there is no past or future, just the present which we experience every moment. Past and future are a fallacy in relation to time. If they appear real to us, it is only because we relate time to events. But this is an absolutely wrong understanding of time. Past and present exist only in relation to events. It is the mind that associates past experiences within an imaginary time frame. In actual fact, the past does not exist, nor does the future. But we imagine them to be real because the mind continues to relive past impressions of events that have created a strong impact on it, or projects itself into the future and hallucinates about what will happen, say 10 years from now. This does not mean that the future is real, for you may cease to exist before that. It is only the mind that perceives it as such, because it is habituated to brooding over events that have occurred, and on the basis of past experience, it projects into the future. In Sanskrit, time is known as Kala, that which devours and consumes everything in creation. Shiva is known as Mahakala, the great time, and his consort is Kali, the destroyer of time. She is depicted standing on top of Shiva, wearing a garland of skulls. Her tongue hangs out, dripping with blood, and she holds a noose and sharp weapons in her hands. Kali symbolizes the death or eradication of our false notions of time relating to past and future, while Mahakal symbolizes timelessness. So when Vigyan Bhairav Tantra says to live in the present, what it actually means is that the sadhak has to separate the mind from events and connect it to time in the absolute sense or kala. Therefore, the sadhak is asked to fix his mind on an object so that he remains focused in the present. The mind may repeatedly wander and stray into events that have happened in life, but he has to bring it back to the object. With practice, the awareness becomes steady, fixed, and focused on the object and on the space that it occupies in the present moment or time. Gradually, the three, time, space, and object, merge into one another, and there is an explosive experience at the nucleus or bindu of the psychic centers where they meet. These centers are within the physical body and are the vortexes of nadis or pranic currents that carry the flow of vital energy throughout the body. The upayas or means of approaching the enlightened state, as described in Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, all come under the practice of dharana. Most yoga sadhakas or practitioners are familiar with this term. It is the sixth stage of Ashtanga Yoga, the eightfold path of yoga, which immediately precedes dhyan or meditation. Dharana is one pointed focus on something, and dhyan is the state of total unbroken awareness of that. Total awareness means awareness of only one thing and no other, whether it is a form, an idea, a feeling, an act, or an experience. To attain this state, you can choose anything that can spontaneously, effortlessly, and totally absorb you, body, mind, and soul. This absorption leads to samadhi or total illumination. From this, it can be understood how important the practice of dharana is in the path of enlightenment. Without perfection of dharana, no progress can be made in this direction. In fact, once dharana is mastered, the aspirant does not have to make any further effort to attain enlightenment. Dhyan or meditation and samadhi, inner illumination, follow as a natural consequence of dharana. If any effort at all has to be made, it is only to sustain that experience in our daily lives. In yoga, the aspirant is asked to master the disciplines of yama and niyama, which are the codes of conduct for the body and the mind. Then he has to master asana, the body postures, and pranayam, the breathing techniques, which stimulate the flow of energy, balance, and direct it to the higher centers. After this, he has to achieve the enormous task of pratyahar, withdrawal of the senses and awareness from the external stimuli and directing them within. Then in dharana, the awareness is focused on whatever object he chooses to create mentally. The only difference is that the object he creates within is not comprised of matter but of consciousness. Later, when the aspirant becomes proficient in this art, he can even recreate the same thing in the tangible world for all to see. Many yogis have attained this state and become co-creators. In relation to yoga, the system of Tantra, and more specifically Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, takes up the spiritual journey from a higher point. It does not impose the codes of conduct and other preliminary steps of yoga, but simply asks one to select a point of dharana and deep dive into it. Thank you for listening. In the next video, you will understand what are the obstacles in sadhana and awareness in dharana. Jai Shiv Shankar.